Men's dress shoes come principally in three different styles: Oxfords, Bluchers, and Derbies. In today's video, I'm going to discuss the differences between the three and share some insights into which might fit your lifestyle best. Let's get started. This is the Elegant Oxford with your host, Preston Soto. The first thing I noticed when making this video was that I didn't actually own a pair of Derbies myself. So Kostas at the Noble Shoe was my first stop to find some, and I ended up with these beautiful cap-toed Derbies by Carlos Santos in a rich tan shade with an amber patina. If you've never visited the Noble Shoe, the owner Kostas is incredibly knowledgeable and helpful when selecting a pair. He's been really great with all the information I needed on UK sizes and different lasts. Now, you might remember the Noble Shoe from a few videos back where I reviewed the Field Boot by Carlos Santos in chocolate suede and calf that I bought for myself. Well, it's quickly become my favorite boot, and I really mean it. It just looks great all around and fits even better. Check out the Noble Shoe if you haven't already. I'll leave the info in the description of the video, and if you haven't watched my unboxing or shine of the Field Boot, I've left a link there as well. As always, everything is perfectly packaged. The shoe bags and the shoe horn are always a nice inclusion, and the shoes look absolutely phenomenal right out of the box. I love the gentle amber shading. It kind of reminds me of the finished wood you might see on a nice guitar or even a soft sunset. Everything is stitched evenly and the soles are clean and pristine. Overall, the shoe is really impressively made and is just as high quality as my Field Boot. Some Saphir Renovateur will help moisturize the leather, which is always a good idea on a brand new pair. Okay, so here I have 3 different men's dress shoes, an Oxford, a Blucher, and a Derby. For those who are just getting into the world of men's dress shoes, these 3 might seem very similar, but they actually have subtle differences that set them apart and even change their formality level depending on color and detail. For starters, an Oxford is a dress shoe with a closed lacing system. What I mean by that is that the area where the eyelets are usually sewn is under the vamp right here, which is the front part of the shoe leading to the famous V-gap, notoriously seen with Oxfords. Oxfords are the most formal style, with black cap toes being the traditional standard of formality with some exceptions. As you can see, this part right here, the V-gap, the eyelets are sewn right under the vamp, so it goes under and this piece goes on top. That is an Oxford. A Blucher and a Derby look very similar, since they both have open lacing systems instead of closed ones like Oxford, but have one difference which sets them apart from each other. The Blucher has one small piece of leather here that serves as the section where the eyelets will go. Right here, it's sewn on top. It's usually quite small. This one just extends to the back since it's a long wing, but this is what makes a shoe a Blucher, this small piece. The Derby, on the other hand, has a much larger piece that extends all the way to the back of the heel of the shoe, and it serves the exact same purpose. But as you can see, it's much larger and it's sewn on top of the vamp right here. So it goes all the way to the back. So remember, there is a difference between a Blucher and a Derby. The Bluchers have a small piece of leather right here that serves where the eyelets will go, while the Derby has a much larger piece of leather sewn on top here that goes all the way to the back. So you'll see companies interchanging them today, and I think it's appropriate to do that, but objectively speaking, there is a difference. They are 2 different styles. So it's just for your information, so you know the difference between the 2. Now, despite these real differences, both of these shoes fall under the category of being less formal than the Oxford, but style is not the only category that gauges formality. The other 2 are color and detail. For example, black and dark chocolate brown are more formal than tan and light brown. Moreover, shoes with broguing, these small holes seen along here, are less formal than shoes without them. Of the 3, color, style, and detail, I believe color is the main indicator of a shoe's formality. Hence, a black cap-toe Derby with brogues is still more formal than a tan Oxford. The color is just too formal and drowns out the other 2 indicators, in my opinion. Now, there's one more category by which you might gauge a shoe's formality, but if it's more of a casual subject, so we'll discuss it here, and I'll give some cursory examples. That category is a shoe's sole. Okay, now, there are generally 3 types of soles, although there are others, but in this video I'll only be discussing 3. And the first one are single oak soles made of leather. Now, these are traditionally the sole you'll find on most men's dress shoes that are of a higher quality. The next type is a double oak sole. So essentially it's a double sole, and it's a lot thicker, it'll last a lot longer, but they're a little bit less formal. Okay, they're a little clunkier, a little chunkier, and that's usually more for a less formal shoe. It's still a really great look. These vintage Florsheims do have a double oak sole, and they are extremely sturdy and extremely strong. They even have 50 nails per shoe, and the famous V cleat, which was supposed to help with how fast you go through the sole, but I just found they're really slippery. And finally, there is the day-night sole. Okay, now this is still Goodyear welted, but day-night is actually really, really popular with many shoe brands today, like Crockett & Jones. Allen Edmonds uses them, and Carmina uses them. They're used by basically all major shoe manufacturers. They last a really, really long time. They're really great for not slipping. I don't know if you've ever taken a slip in one of these, but it can get a little bit slippery on carpet. Day-night doesn't slip as easily. It's great if you live in a cold environment or it's wet, where there's a lot of salt. And day-night's a really good option. It's not as dressy, but to be frank, no one's ever really going to see the sole of your shoes. Some people absolutely hate them. I absolutely love day-night. I think it's a fantastic option for those who use their shoes a lot. So those are the 3 types of soles that you might find: single oak, double oak, and then day-night. And that can really change a shoe's formality. Single oak is probably the most formal. Double oak is a lot more casual. It's also a lot thicker and a lot chunkier. And then we have day night, which I think you can, it can go on most dress shoes and you should be fine. Overall, all 3 shoes are a good option for you in these lighter colors. They pair really well with earth tones such as olive green, tan, and other browns. They can also be worn with more casual suits such as light gray ones or khaki. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, subscribe, and share for more content in the future. Make sure to check out my other videos as well if you'd like to learn more about shining your shoes. Look for me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at The Elegant Oxford for more. Remember to care for your shoes so that they'll last you for years to come. Always put your best foot forward. The small details matter most, so don't forget to #ShineYourShoes. I'll see you next time.